This big busty brand of Tarth woman who crushes like rocks with her bare hands.
You got a lobster, you got a magnet. Lobster's a 10 out of don't you grab it.
This video is brought to you by T-Blocks. Enjoy the content now, but stay for the shilling later.
Welcome to Lobster Magnet Friends. I'm here with my buddy Gorogregoro.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, so we are here to talk about Dr. Stone, chapters 47 and 48, or is it 48 and 49? It's 48 and 49, yeah. So two chapters for the price of one. So, Goro, what do you think of these past two chapters of the Stone Wars?
Pretty good. I like Kohaku, Magma, and Kinro's, or is it Jinro? Jinro's, is it Jinro or Kinro?
We always confuse
I'm
it.
fucking dyslexic. I like their teamwork against, Pipe Spear Dude.
That was my one complaint, though. I couldn't really figure out what they did to. What was the big special trick that they used to win against Pipe Spear Guy?
I think it was just like wearing it down with samurai swords until Gen's, earlier sabotage, finally, manifested.
And then to the point. Oh, I did like the fact that now Gen is officially with Team Dr. Stone, and that he let his full allegiance stay out.
Yeah, there's a really funny panel of Gen and Senku sort of metaphorically both wielding samurai swords in the following panel, showing that they're truly actually he's truly part of the Kingdom of Science, allied with Senku.
Yeah, finally is true things are. But I like chapter 49 a little bit better because I thought it was much more clear. I like the fact that the gas had a reappearance, and I thought again Boichi did a great job with drawing the death illustrations.
Yeah, that was fantastic. But the gas should be invisible, right? They can't really see it unless Suika's forewarning of the gas was seeing a snake drop dead.
Yeah.
So usually they have they had a long silver spear to detect where the gas is coming from.
Yeah, originally, but then it didn't matter because I don't know, because the wind maybe made it a little bit more apparent because it was blowing it in the direction. I mean, it still looked cool to have that death vision and then lead the monkey men. And here's the other thing: what do you think of the debut of the new woman for Tsukasa's evil kingdom of mighty men?
She's a cutie.
I don't know. I liked her introduction in the terms of she burned down the village. I thought that was pretty badass. I was like, oh no, not the village. But I wasn't a huge fan of her design.
Yeah, I mean, she isn't super muscular. You'd think Tsukasa only wants the strongest people, and
yeah, that's I guess my problem.
I thought it was gonna be all steroid and
yeah, that's what I wanted. We had that image of him with that huge collection of stone people, and I wanted sunken rock people all unroided. I wanted this big brand of Tarth woman.
Yeah.
This big busty brand of Tarth woman who crushes rocks with her bare hands. But instead we get this slender girl, and I was on one hand I like that you're deburning down the village. That's a cool dastardly thing. The idea that this was all just a diversion for your real attack. But your design, it's kind of a sexual design, but it's a little bit more tasteful than what we usually get from Boichi. But it's this feels a little kind of plain. I don't know. I just want my brand of Tarth woman. I want my super steroid people as opposed to slender spear guy.
Yeah, when Tsukasa said, "I'm only going to pick the strongest people," you assume in your head, and after seeing that one panel of all the super muscular statues, all doing incredibly super roided poses and stuff, you think his army is going to be super roided and badass all throughout.
Yeah,
And-
exactly. I want him to have an army of JoJos, early JoJos, and Kenshiro men who are just like the most roided out thing, who look like they came out of the 1980s Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
But alas, we get these like more contemporary slender designs. These sort of like the more waifish designs that will like appeal to girls more.
I guess. And guys too. I mean, I imagine like most guy readers don't want to see like super roided women.
Well, they
manga.
used to ages ago, but I don't know. I guess.
But she could still be a little bit more muscular.
Yeah, I wanted her to be roided out.
Just like show some definition of muscle. Like Kohaku's more buff than she is.
Yeah, yeah. She doesn't like strike me as like fitting in with the paradigm of ultimate muscular definition. So
yeah,
that I was a little disappointed about, but I do like the the fact that the poison came back into play and that it was used to murder the gorilla men.
Yeah,
and
that was really great. I didn't think they would go through with that, but they actually did murder the gorilla.
Well, there was that scene where they showed them like clinging to the tree, and I was like, oh man, the gorilla men are gonna survive, and then they like get knocked down, and I'm like, yeah, goodbye gorilla men, fuck you. I don't like the gorilla men.
Oh my god, I was pretty shocked that there was like actual like Dr. Stone death in this.
Yeah, it's true. There really hasn't been like a lot of murder and death in this whole shebang.
I mean, of course, there's always flashback death, but you can always expect flashback death.
Flashback is open game, but like current death, you can't do that and show. Well, very rarely, very, 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 very rarely.
Yeah.
This was interesting, good old Dr. Stone goodness, and I'm hyped to see whatever weapon Seku comes up with. I love that last image.
Oh yeah, he's coming up with some kind of like super weapon. I was like thinking, what's the strongest weapon he can come up with in the Stone Age that he says is like the best weapon ever? And I'm thinking to myself like, it's only got to be nukes. I mean, nukes is the strongest weapon made by man, no doubt.
Yeah,
but what else is he talking about?
My guess is like he'll either like make some sort of like timed explosive like TNT or something, or he'll make like maybe napalm. He'll come up with like napalm he can like set on fire.
Is there a way he can harness like? No. He wouldn't use the poison gas again.
Yeah, that seems like a little bit too cruel for like Seku because
like chemical like warfare.
Yeah, he just creates mustard gas to like freaking kill the. Well, I'm really curious now that like one, Seku has control of the village. Two, the village is like completely destroyed. If like Seku's gonna like build like an iron village using all the because the Kingdom of Science didn't get burned down. They managed to save that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's still good. So they have to rebuild the whole village, make sure it's more resilient to fire, I suppose, right?
Yeah. Well, I assume that we're going to get, like, now that they can, like, craft steel and metal and shit, we're going to get, like, steel houses or something like that.
I don't know about steel houses. What about just, like, regular houses that don't get burned down? Like, I don't know, brick.
Maybe
house.
brick. Maybe
I don't
brick.
know.
Maybe brick. That would make sense. That seems like the most plausible because I was thinking like even modern houses can get burned down. The house I'm in right now could get burned down. It's still made of a lot of fucking wood.
But like burned down to a lesser extent. Like it wouldn't be like kindling. It wouldn't be like a straw house. Like a straw house.
Yeah. That's obviously, but a brick house would probably be much more difficult to burn down, and that would be like a big technological innovation for them.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, there was some good. I liked the 49 much better than 48 because I felt like that was felt more Dr. Stoney, and I wasn't a huge fan of like to me the whole thing of how they beat like Spear Guy's spear like. I still doesn't quite make sense to me.
You didn't get that Again, he sabotaged the spear before the battle.
Did he? How did he sabotage the spear before the battle? He didn't know the spear guy was coming.
Remember, Gen escaped with the gorilla guys and the spear guy, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, let me check out this pipe spear thing that you have."
And then he sabotaged it.
Yeah.
And then how did?
Remember that scene that they showed with Suika like handing him the little small knife thing?
Yeah, and then he like he sabotaged it during the time.
Yeah.
And then who was the one who cut it? Was it like Kinro?
It was Gen. He cut it secretly and then hid the damage.
Oh, and then it like exploded before he could hit Kohaku.
Yes. So after so much wear and tear with the spear, the little sabotage finally
took place.
You know, yeah.
And okay. Yeah, as I remember when reading it, I don't think it was as clear as it could have been, or it felt a little kind of like bullshitty. Versus like, you know, like, I love the using of like the natural spring, and then the image of like the freaking death thing, you know, consuming everything.
Yeah.
I wonder if like Senku's gonna like bother to like bury the monkey men and put them in the funeral garden.
I don't know. I think we're just gonna forget about them.
Yeah, the monkey men were not like the best characters in Dr. Stone. They were definitely, you know, mookie mooks who were good for mookdom.
Yeah. Man, I don't know how they're gonna follow up now. Like, what is this surprise attack that Kingdom of Science is gonna do against Primate Guy's village? Like, what's his plan? What's he gonna do? Like, how is they gonna react? Like,
well, one, I'm curious to see what Senku builds. Two, I'm curious to see how they rebuild the village. And three, I'm also, you know, of course, want to see like what the plan is for the new weapon. So yeah, things are progressing well. I just hope we get like some more better, you know, people for like the kingdom of strong people, Primate Guy's kingdom, because so far, like, I feel like they've been kind of disappointing, at least in the character design terms.
mm-hmm.
Like whatchamacallit, quasi sexy lady and spear guy just like are not doing it for me at all.
I mean, Spear Guy, he's gotten better, I think, over the last several chapters. But I mean, yeah, they need to flesh out Primate Guy's army a bit more.
I think the biggest problem is that like they shouldn't have said like there's two people who you can't beat. There's Primate Guy and then there's Spear Guy. So basically that means that like, you know, oh, there's only two guys. These are the strongest people of his kingdom. So that leads us to believe that everyone else we see is a downgrade below that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Unless Primate Guy's like, oh, they have katanas. Senku, I knew you'd prove it to be a challenge. And then he's got like this MMA like fighter guy who he's like, I didn't want to bring this guy up. He's the 51-time champion Kurt Russell, but now it's time to unleash his power. And then he just like, I want to beat shit up.
Or what if Tsukasa, he like steals some katanas himself? It's like he gets like some secret agent thieves to like steal some of Senku's like weaponry or something.
Maybe. I could see that happening. That he sends like a spy. He sends like not quite sexy lady to go steal some katanas.
But maybe like a sexy thief or something like that.
Maybe. I still want like a really busty. I want like a muscle woman. I really want like a muscle woman, like this really tall muscle woman who just punches the shit out of crap.
Yeah.
That's what we need. No more sleek and slender crap. I want Kenshiro and you know, just this and Brienne of Tarth to join forces.
And I talked about this, I think, before, where I kind of wanted like this clash of like ideologies in manga, where it's like, remember the Super Eye Patch Wolf video of like
Which one?
Manga in like the 80s or something like that of
Oh,
like
you want
Kenshiro and JoJo's.
yeah, that would be amazing if it like Senku's village represented like the modern era of like manga, and they're all like sort of sleek and slender characters, while Tsukasa's kingdom represents like the 80s era of manga, and they were all like Kenshiro. Yeah, that would be amazing. I would love that, but so far it looks like we're not getting that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing. That would have been freaking amazing. Like just like these characters were designed like all they can do is just like punch through shit, versus like the more modern characters who were like tricky and use deception.
Yeah. Oh man, that would have been such a great little like overarching theme thing going on.
Yeah, that would have been freaking great. But who
So
knows? We might still get it. So let's get to scores. What would you rate chapter 48?
48. 48 was an 8 for me. I enjoyed it. It was a fun chapter.
I don't know. I give it a 7.5. I thought it was a little bit, the storytelling was a little bit clumsy, but it was still a decent chapter. This one though, I thought was a solid 8.
Yeah, I think I give this one 8.5 actually, because like I really like the green death like coming back in this again, and all the illustrations are beautiful with like the green death.
Boichi's like freaking great with that in terms of like trying to like transform this like metaphorical danger into like this cool art representation.
Yeah.
My problem though is just those character designs, man.
Oh, you mean little sleek, slender girl?
Yeah, slender girl and spear guy. You just look at them and you're just like, oh man, you two are just like tons of wasted opportunities.
I mean, spear guy he's a little bit better, but I mean, slender girl, like, she's not the buff universe I imagined, Tsukasa's village being.
Yeah, which is a shame. I wonder how, like, when Tsukasa, like, unsheaths these people, how he, like, convinces them to get him on his side. If he's like, oh, we gotta go kill those people over there. Or he has, like, oh, I brought you back to life. You're in debt to me. Like, how is he getting on this point where it's like, oh, go burn the women and children. You're evil now.
He probably makes a huge speech where it's like, in this world now, only the strength is the only thing that matters, and I am the strongest, so you must follow me.
That sounds about right. God, though.
I don't know.
One last thought before we end this. Like, in the beginning, though, Tsukasa did imply that he and Senku could become friends. Do you think that, like, some point we're gonna, like, see them, like, become friends, and then we're gonna get, like, a third external threat of, like, super evil cavemen or something?
I don't know. I still remember Tsukasa smashing those statues to death. Like, I still don't think Senku's forgiven him for that.
Yeah, I guess that is a good old-fashioned murder, and every time they show him with, like, dead statue bits of, like, the Dr. Stone version of gore.
Yeah, and I guess to be clear, like, I didn't really count the statue murder to be, like, actual murder, death in the manga. It's kind of like displaced death. But, like, I think this current chapter is the first time we've actually seen characters die in real time.
Yeah, that is true, which was nice. I did appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you for hanging out with us and being patient with waiting us for talk about Dr. Stone. And remember, lobsters and tennis, but don't you grab it.
Do you like clothes but hate shopping? Then T-Blocks is the subscription service for you. But I know what you're thinking. But Lobster, how is that any different than Loot Crate or the other subscription services? Well, T-Blocks sends you t-shirts, which is clothing, which is actually useful, unlike the useless swag junk that Loot Crate keeps peddling on gullible schmucks. And this isn't just knockoff brand crap. T-Blocks hooks you up with licensed shirts for all the stuff you love, because you need clothes. How else are you going to keep your puny human man flesh protected from the elements? T-shirts are useful for any occasion. Wear them, give them to friends, give them to enemies, knit them together, make a quilt. T-shirts are life, And you know the best part? It'll only cost you $6.99. That's right, you can get 12 shirts sent to you for once a month for only $6.99. And you know what? If ultra cheap licensed goods are too basic for you, then there's also the Community Tee Block set, which features original designs from the best up-and-coming artists, so you can keep that hipster street cred. But I'm here to save you even more money! Use the code LOBSTERTBX at checkout and you'll save 10% on any order. Be a t-shirt wearing god amongst mortals. Use the power of the most expensive seafood to get you the cheapest t-shirts now!
Manga's made of iron, lobsters made of eggs.